We shake the right hands, break the wrong ones.
Well, I think we have a situation developing.
Fantastic to speak with you guys. I've seen 3 episodes of the season so far, and it's been a wild ride. So just kicking this off, Tom. So Harry has a very interesting relationship with the Harrigans. I think he works as their fixer, but also he's kind of a confidant to a lot of the characters. Do you think that he wants to hold a bit more authority within this like crime family, or do you think that he's just kind of there to do a job?
I think he's just there to do a job at the moment. I don't think he has any delusions of grandeur. He's a loyal infrastructure piece and a loyal soldier and asset, really, to the family. And I don't think he has any aspirations towards anything more than that.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm also curious, Paddy, I feel like you've been kind of cursed to play fathers with awful sons recently. Can you talk? Yeah. Can you talk about how Kevin views his son Eddie and what his perspective is on what happens with Tommy Stevenson?
Well, it's a big deal because it causes a lot of trouble between the two families, and it's trouble we don't need. And no crime family or firm needs any heat on them whatsoever, So it's what occurs in the first couple of episodes is very, very messy. It's caused a lot of trouble. I get my house blown up. It's no joke. So, I'm not pleased.
And he's still upset about it.
I'm not best pleased with him.
As a character.
Still I wouldn't be pleased with him either. I mean, he's kind of a mess.
But, imagine that. If I've had my house blown up. So he's not in my favour. He's lucky he just got a cattle prod.
I mean, well, speaking of being in Kevin's favor, in the 3rd episode, we kind of learn a little bit more about Harry and Bella's relationship. I'm curious.
Harry and Bella?
Yeah, I don't know. I just...
Say again, go on.
What's going on with the two of them?
What's the question again?
With you and Bella?
That's his wife.
What's going on with you and Bella? That's my missus.
I hate to break the news to you guys, but there's something going on with them. What's their individual takes on it? And I guess Tom, I'll start with you first.
There's nothing going on there. Harry works for the family, and each individual family member has their own private issues and problems that they want to keep to themselves, not necessarily share with the family. So Harry's across the deck on everybody in order to look after their security. So that's from my point of view. And
from Kevin's point of view, there is a moment where he's paranoid that something might be happening with Harry and Bella, but they sort of, kind of sort it out towards the end of the series. But yeah, I think Kevin, though, is paranoid about a lot of things. But he trusts Harry.
Or not.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys
a bit.
Your guys' characters have like
I don't trust Tom.
He's had his house blown up. Give him a break. He doesn't know what happens in the series.
I ain't got a clue. I've never seen it.
Yeah, it wasn't. He wasn't in most of it.
Yeah, I get caught out of most of it.
He's just come to do the press. His part got cut out.
It's a bit of a holiday for me. I get to spend more time with Tom.
Yeah, that's what.
So your guys' characters meet in prison, and like you have this. Like, I guess your dynamic is closer than Kevin's dynamic is with his siblings, even.
Yeah.
Can you talk about why Kevin feels like he can trust Harry more than, I guess, his family members?
He doesn't want anything from you.
No. I think he finds Harry quite dependable. But I feel like I've had that myself growing up, that there was kids I used to roam the streets with that I felt closer to than, my own brother and sisters. It sort of happens, and you experience things, and that's exclusive to you, and you create your friendships and bonds that way. So I can only imagine that when they were in prison together, that they'd formed a kind of friendship, and Harry was some kind of protection, I think, to Kevin to a certain degree in there, and maybe it's Kevin that brought Harry to the family to sort of as an asset, but to continue that friendship and keep somebody near that could sort of sort out the problems, really, as a kind of safety, a security guy.
Yeah, and Tom, with Harry's background, I'm really curious about sort of his origins, because we get so much about the Harrigans, but we don't really, he's kind of an enigma of a character. Can you talk a little bit about his past and what we can see about it in the future if we do see anything?
I think it's really important to leave that as in mythology in some aspects. So we don't know where he's come from or what he's been through. As we evolve through the seasons to come, I'd rather not pinpoint him specifically into anything. I have my own ideas of various sort of things that he's capable of doing, that they must have originated somewhere in experience. But I think in order to give the characters the breadth and the width and the length that they need to go and grow, it doesn't behoove me to give him a forensic backstory. I'm not even sure I feel the prison backstory. I think part of me think that, the flashbacks to the prison element is, for me personally, wasn't an essential element, because I think there's something really fascinating in what you don't know. But once you've seen it, you can't undo it. It's there for forever. So we're tied into that.
Yeah.
Not that it doesn't make sense. It absolutely does. And I understand why it is as a producer. I get it. But personally, there's more in what we don't know about characters. You can project more imagination into that space, which I think is better for me.
I agree with you on that. My time is very limited with you guys, so I just have one wrap-up question. Paddy, I love your performance in House of the Dragon.
Thank you.
Your cameo last season was fantastic with Matt Smith. I have to ask, is there any potential of us seeing you again in season 3? And do you have that giant statue of Viserys in your backyard now?
I should have it.
Well, I saw that statue on set on season 2, and I'd walked past it for days, and then I just looked up and went, "Oh my God." And I rang my wife and said, "We've got this statue." And she said, "Can we have it?"
How big is it?
And I went, "Mate," and I said, "You could see that from space if we had it in our garden." So no, but the art department they made me a little model of it.
No, you need the real one.
Yeah, I need the real one in the back garden.
With a slide on it. Into a paddling pool.
Slide out of his mouth.
Slide out the back of your head.
So no season 3, no. It was fun the second time. Because, the character had an impact. But season 3, no. I think people will be like, "Oh, go on, piss off, mate. We've had enough of you."
Thanks for coming.
That person is not me. But thank you so much for talking with me. I can't wait for everybody to watch this show. It's fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.